Chad Cunningham, I knew him for about 11, 12 years actually, my entire time over here almost. When he came on as the bridge specialist, started inspecting bridges for us.
I worked with Chad for about 5 years. Looking at bridges, we're out in the creeks and stuff a lot, and we look at big culverts and stuff that run under some cities and under the highways.
I've worked with Chad approximately a little over a year before he passed away. Taught me a lot. He was a good teacher.
I was in part of his lead worker, training him and doing things. And Chad was a people person, there's no doubt about that.
I actually first met Chad and actually saw him because he was a frequent referee of my son's games. They played baseball and especially basketball, and Chad refereed many of my son's basketball games.
He had a lot of different families at ODOT that he worked through.
He was a very intelligent fellow. You could be talking sports as you're walking over this bridge looking at it and not think he's paying attention to nothing. But he could tell you every bolt that didn't have a nut on it.
One thing I know about Chad is Chad just loved his work. He was passionate about what he did. He was excellent at it.
He was kind of a stubborn person too. One day we was out in this box culvert that went under the highway. There was a pasture field on both sides, an electric fence across this culvert, and he was going to climb over this fence, and I told him, I said, Chad, that fence is hot. He just acted like he didn't hear me and started climbing over that fence, and it jolted him pretty good. You know, I stood up on the edge of the road and laughed, and I told him, I said, yeah, I got kids at home that listen about as well as you do, you know.
His love for ODOT, love for his co-workers, you know, really showed through every day. I had my health issues. I wasn't allowed caffeine. He went on vacation to Hawaii, and he bought me a big pack of Hawaiian coffee, decaf coffee, and it was pretty special coffee. Not too many people think of you while you're on vacation, but that's just the type of thing he did. And he's always thinking about people. Good co-worker, good friend.
Fast forward a few years later, of course Chad got pretty sick, and we all knew what had come about for Chad, and he was off for about a year.
And anytime you hear the word cancer, it's kind of like, what, oh my God, how did that happen? Because they didn't smoke, they didn't really drink, a fit guy. That was devastating for not only Chad, but most of us who worked with him.
He came to me in the fall of 2015 and said, Lloyd, I'm going to go on a little trip here. Now that I've got this prognosis, we're going to go on a trip. We're going to go to Florida. When I come back at the beginning of the year, I'd like to come to work again.
They actually pulled us aside and wanted to know if it was all right with us. And, you know, that was 100%, absolutely, you know. And I thought that was one of the greatest things.
Chad had dedicated 32 plus years of his life to this agency. Why shouldn't we offer him this opportunity to continue his legacy here at the district? It was an easy decision to say yes.
He loved his job. When he came back, he says, you guys, he said, if I'm not carrying my weight, you throw me out. He carried his weight. Did a fantastic job. I mean, no doubt. You know, he wanted to be in the action. He didn't come back to set. He came back to be amongst, you know, out amongst us.
All three of them, without fail, they kept on reminding me, don't worry, you know, we'll take care of whatever we need to take care of. Whatever he can do, we'll manage it. You won't even know.
One thing, laughter heals. And we had a lot to laugh about a lot of times. So they snapped a picture. I was out, we was training, and I didn't know it. I went around and done the whole inspection. Chad had the clipboard. And I came back up on top, and Chad's standing there with the thing, so I'm leaning on the bridge rail like I am here. And I'm telling him everything I found, and everybody says, well, we see Chad working in the photo. I didn't know the photo was there. It was, you got a good laugh out of it later. He saluted it every time he walked past it, so it's a classic.
One day I was working with my crews in Holmes County, and I noticed when I was going out there, I passed the bridge crew inspecting some culverts along State Route 39 there. And so I thought, I'm going to have to stop and talk to the guys and see how it's going. And I was asking him how he was doing. He said he was doing great, and he reiterated again, thanking me. Thank you for this opportunity to come back and me to have a purpose in life in these last days of my life. Most people would have just said, I got this bad prognosis, I'm not going to live much longer, I just want to go live it up. Chad decided that he wanted to continue doing what he loved to do.
I think that extended his lifespan quite a bit, being able to come back and start doing what he loved doing.
We would take off on the motorcycle at times, and he would take me and show me, now I inspected this bridge, this week, or we did this.
But I think he was given like a 3 to 6 month deal that, that's the only thing I can guarantee at this point is that. And obviously that was in the fall of 2015, and he lived to beyond that, obviously, so almost a year, actually it was a year longer than that.
And after Chad passed, you still had folks who were talking to his wife, there for her.
The guys stay in touch with me. They just text me every so often, see how I'm doing, and once in a while they'll let me know they're working in the neighborhood, come by and see us.
District 11 it is certainly behaves and acts like a family, very much so.
I think it's a great place to work. 32 years, and I know personally of 2 people that they tremendously went out of their way to help. I put 10 years in the coal mine, and I couldn't see that happening there.
I've worked all over the world. I've worked in 4 different continents. And I felt from that aspect, this is probably the most closely knit unit I've seen.
He's definitely missed. Yeah, definitely missed. I don't know, you don't work with somebody for that amount of time, that close to him, and not feel their pain.
Many things I do today that still thoughts go back to Chad.
He was a very good teacher. He taught me a lot. I wish he was still here.
He really enjoyed working with these guys. I have had the opportunity to see him through their eyes the last couple years, and it has opened my eyes to a lot of things.
Chad, we miss you. We still miss you. Every time I look at a bridge inspection report, I see your name from last year's, and I'm like, okay, wish you were here.
To know Chad was to love him. One of those kind of guys. So
Great camaraderie. He was my friend. He's still missed today. He'll never be forgotten.